Narcissists have a way about them. They are confident and charming and seem to have life by the apples. As I've said it before, be careful. Appearances can be deceiving. As much as they seem to be confident and their lives appear to run as smooth as butter, the reality is they are not so in tune with life or with others as they seem to be. Narcissists have a way of going all in or bust, and they have little to no remorse about the trail of destruction. And they have little to no remorse about the trail of destruction, the hearts that they have hurt, or the chaotic mess that they leave behind. Oh, they don't acknowledge responsibility for their actions, and they will not take responsibility for the aftermath of the superficiality their bombastic ways leave behind them. The narcissist has to always be confident and charming. They are always on the go with their appearances, because if they do not continually emotionally move towards their goal to stay one step ahead of their goal, their personal emotional devastation is a hellhole for the innocent. Yes, I'm talking about you. You who are innocent will have to witness their destruction. However, remember, the narcissist does not care about what you see. They will claim that they are innocent and they do not deserve all that is happening to them, and they may even blame you. Welcome to the trap the narcissist unknowingly sets up for himself or herself. You don't have to do anything. All you have to do is let karma do its job. Welcome to the narcissistic collapse. As I've said before, appearances can be deceiving, and that they are. And there is nothing authentic in the narcissist's emotional repertoire. That is until, may I say this again? That is until you witness a behavior that seems so bizarre, so off-colored, that it can't be them, right? But what you witness can be quite intimidating if you do not know what's going on. I'm not even sure they know what's going on. It's beyond an emotional meltdown. It's like they are having a break in their system. When the narcissist can no longer maintain their fakery, when they can no longer keep up appearances, and that dividing line between their real self and their fake self shrinks, they become vulnerable to the real and raw feelings that always linger just below the surface of impressions. The narcissist is able to maintain appearances because I think every encounter with you or with others, until they hook you, they might be treated like first impressions. Meaning that every time they interact with you, it is as if they are interacting with you for the first time. What they're giving you is always first impressions until they hook you. Eventually, keeping up appearances becomes extremely exhausting to them, and when they feel like they have won you over to their side, they begin to let go of the appearances, and who they truly are is slowly exposed to you, little by little by little. When you are aware of their antics and you begin to see the narcissist for who they are, and you offer them little to no support in the way of giving your emotions over to them to feed their narcissistic need, they then seek other means of support. However, eventually people do begin to see the narcissist's true colors, and they have angered so many people that their support system is no longer listening. And also, now that we have the internet at our fingertips, we can go research the term narcissism and educate ourselves. So when the narcissist gravitates to us and thinks that they have an in, we're that much more wiser. So we're not onto their game as long as they want us to believe. We become wise to their antics. And this can dismantle a narcissist and set them off balance. When no one is playing their game, the narcissist then becomes isolated as people make attempts to steer clear to avoid them at all costs. The narcissist may turn to you one last time. And when you treat them as their seemingly close circles treats them, that no thank you, and you exercise your healthy boundaries, you might have the unfortunate circumstance of witnessing the narcissist's collapse. The narcissist lives in a make-believe world, a world where everyone likes them and they are at the top of their A game. They can do nothing wrong. Life is just so happy and joyful. In the narcissist's perspective, their reality has it that they can do no wrong. When you and their circle of friends challenge that reality, and not even their enablers are listening, the narcissist goes into a meltdown. They begin to shut down with a mental breakdown, and it's ugly. Many narcissists in the collapse phase have a difficult time of facing themselves. They are withdrawn and isolated, they sink into depression, and you may try to help them, and they just end up pushing you further away. It is quite scary and intimidating as the narcissist can become verbally violent with you. Because their supply is gone and you no longer play by their rules, they need time away from you, away from everyone. The narcissist cannot come to grips that they are the problem. It is all of the people whom they've invested their time and effort in. These people, you, are the problem. They are so disgusted with the world, with the people that they chose as friends, including you, when in reality they are disgusted with themselves. They are so good at making those impressions. Why did suddenly everyone change? Clearly there must be something wrong with everyone, as everyone is out to get the narcissist. That's the mind speak of the narcissist. That's their mind speak, not yours. This sorry attempt to excuse people's good common sense away convinces the narcissist that cutting themselves off from the world is the only way to go. Narcissistic hibernation happens when they have lost all their sources of supply. They lie dormant and isolated until they feel safe to come out again, when the coast is clear. When the ill effects of narcissistic damage have worn off, that is when they will make their way back into your life again. During the time of hibernation, a narcissist isolates and cuts themselves off because they feel like everyone is onto them or out to get them. Remember, most narcissists assume that everyone likes them and that they know everyone. This is an overgeneralization, of course, so when they isolate, they really do believe that everyone is out to get them. It is impossible to know everyone in a town or a city. However, the narcissist is convinced or believes that they know everyone, and they rationalize to gaslight themselves that everyone is against them. It must be that someone talked. Someone has spread rumors about them. They can't show their face in that group again. The narcissist lays low until they feel it is safe to come out of hiding. Once narcissistic collapse occurs, it is actually difficult for the narcissist to recover. Most of them do not. It is permanent, as the narcissist cannot mask their sense of low self-esteem with themselves. They have no more supply to act as the cover, the facade, the go-between, so that they can distract themselves from facing their cold stone truth. They are obscure. I mentioned in my video titled The Origins of Narcissism, It's Not What You Think, about how the narcissist does feel obscure. Obscurity means to not be discovered or known about, to be uncertain. When the narcissist loses all his fuel or her fuel sources collected, this individual has no choice but to face obscurity. This is why they need us after all. It's not about to victimize us. That's a byproduct. They are in our lives, they gravitate to us so that they feel less obscure, because our love, our unconditional love, will take away that obscurity. They need us to avoid these feelings of obscurity, as our attention of them makes them feel less obscure. They feel popular, as their need for attention and popularity convinces them that they are worthy for as long as they can maintain a hold over their supply. Once all these sources of supply are gone, the narcissist has no choice but to feel those feelings of obscurity, and that is something the narcissist doesn't know what to do with. Their isolation may take on in the form of drug abuse and alcohol abuse, as drinking alone dulls the ruminating thoughts that linger in the mind of a narcissist. They can fall into a deep depression, and all they want to do is sleep and watch television. Suddenly, their zest for life is gone, and as you thrive, as those the narcissist once knew thrive and move on, the narcissist knows they will soon be forgotten. This is a heartache they become married to, as the narcissist becomes isolated, bitter, crusty in their old age. Narcissistic collapse is similar to the demasking the narcissist. With demasking the narcissist, they do collapse in front of you, as they seem to become unhinged. However, they have other fuel sources and avenues of supply. Even if they don't have a supply at that moment, they will quickly go find another fuel source. They have avenues of supply left that when you decide that you aren't playing the narcissistic tirade, push and pull, gaslighting game, the lying, the devaluation, you're done with all of that. The demasking is verbally violent, and it is extremely intimidating. When they realize that you are no longer sympathetic to them, they will try one last attempt to get you to feel sorry for them and stay. They use sometimes physical violence, most often verbal violence and fear-mongering in order to get you to stay. They use intimidation to get you to stay. The ultimate goal is to get you to feel sorry for them. When you leave, they will quickly move on to another source, and that in itself causes them to forget how they felt obscure in your presence when they demasked themselves in front of you. Their obscurity is short-lived in the demasking phase. The collapsed phase of a narcissist, especially when the narcissist is older, they will have a difficult time picking up the pieces, as many will not, most will not. They will just slip off into obscurity like the obscure people that they are. So now that you know what happens to the narcissist after you and their other fuel sources are gone, I am hopeful that you will allow yourself to heal from their abuse and no longer lend yourself to empathy and feel sorry for the narcissist. They are responsible for what they do in life, just as you are, and they are responsible of what they do to all of us in life. And karma does come back to bite them in those apples. They may not feel the consequences up front of what they do to you, but later on, oh, it does catch up with them. They have to face themselves, and it is not our responsibility to hold them accountable for the things that they refuse to take accountability and responsibility for. That's why God steps in with karma. We all reap what we sow, and we sow eventually And what we sow eventually comes back to us, even the narcissist. Let God's revenge be sufficient as you allow your life to thrive and survive without the narcissist. Their games eventually do catch up with them, I promise you that. That is all we need to know. If this video helps you to answer those questions about the narcissists that were nagging you and what happens when they run out of supply, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel. Narcissist collapse is a phase in the narcissist's life that usually is lifelong. It is where they have reached the end of their game. They have played the game so well that they do not realize that they end up playing themselves. The collapse is their punishment as life brings to them what they have done to us and others. They have isolated and separated us from our loved ones and ourselves in attempts to convince us that the only one we need and should bow down to is the narcissist. They project their obscurity onto us, and once we let that soul tie go, it eventually slingshots back to them to where they become entangled in it and cannot escape from it. So do not feel guilty, do not feel remorse, and do not stay because you feel like that narcissist needs you because they might suffer from narcissistic collapse. No. Learn about narcissism to heal yourself so that you can free yourself. Free yourself from the bitterness and anger. Take from this video the knowledge that God is about to deal with the narcissist that abused you in a way that causes them to feel what they forced onto you. You have been set free, and that is something to celebrate because those chains that the narcissist bound you in, those chains are going to lock tight onto them for life. So do me a favor. Go on and now enjoy your life after watching this video, and be blessed.